Well, we've been wishing for that kind of thing to happen sometime, Ernie. We love the wildlife and the water resources we've got, plus just the land itself, and we really hated to see it subdivided and chopped up and lose those resources to ourselves and to the community. So we thought that it was really a stroke of genius and luck when the Conservancy came along and offered to put conservation easements on it and buy the fee land as well, enabling us to move on in our lives as well as to protect the ranch and resources that it has supported all these years for many more years to come, and we're just really happy that it happened that way.
One of the resources you mentioned, Rick, was the watershed here. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate, Ernie, to have one of the better water rights in the whole area on the bulk of our ranch. And we feel that by irrigating all this land, it dribbles back into the river instead of just running straight down the middle fork. And over long term, I think it'll prove very beneficial as far as continued in-stream flows and healthy riparian areas for the entire area. I failed to mention earlier, but I will, if you look at some old historic photographs back in the old days before any of this country was irrigated, the Horniker Creek especially was just, you could step across it anywhere down through here, and on either side of it was sagebrush and cheatgrass, you know, native species. There was no meadows, there's no riparian area or anything, so we're real pleased that that kind of thing is going to continue as well.
Yeah. Randy, can you explain why the Nature Conservancy was interested in this ranch?
Well, this ranch has a lot of natural value to it, primarily in the form of big game species habitat, especially crucial winter range, and you're going to find elk, deer, and pronghorn on this ranch throughout the year. So when we approached Rick about this, conservation easement, these were the types of values we were trying to conserve, and we intend to conserve with the conservation easement that is now on this property.
And you're lucky to also have an adjoining property that makes this a nice parcel.
Yes, the 3 Bar X Ranch, which we closed on in May and have since sold to another agricultural producer, same types of conservation values on the 3 Bar X as well, and to have the two ranches actually butting up against each other means that we're getting even much more value out of both of them being combined, because we can serve that much more habitat and prevent it from being split up by subdivisions.
Mm-hmm. And that's the goal of the conservation easements, isn't it?
Primarily the goal of the conservation easements is to restrict rampant development, I would call it. These two easements will allow just a little bit of development, but not much. The main goal, again, is to conserve habitat for all wildlife species, and the development that will be allowed will be very restricted.